much tighter game than the last one in a lot of ways. Difficult, physical. Thought our guys held their composure very well through some runs and a lot of crowd noise and a lot of commotion, and they kept their poise. So it's day 3 of 13 days, and no one's getting ahead of themselves. There's a lot of work to do.
What did you make of what Pascal Siakam did today and the opportunities he had to?
Special game. Early in the first half, he was the guy that got us going and got us through some difficult stretches. Thought he really picked his spots to be aggressive. He ran great. He did everything. He attacked the rim. He was great in mid-range, and he the 3-point shot was there. And so it's hard to score that number of points in a game like this, where you always have a physical matchup defensively, and there's a guy crashing and flying at the basket, but he did a phenomenal job, and it's a quiet 39 points. It really was.
You mentioned just the tough matchup you had. He's had obviously very difficult matchups the entire playoffs, to be honest, to Evan, to OG. Just what's it been like for him to work through those scenarios and find his opportunities over the course of the series when he's dealing with that caliber of time?
He's a veteran who's been in these situations multiple times. He understands the importance of patience and being disciplined and understanding, the NBA playoffs are a process. You have to keep working the process, whatever your process is within the team. He never forces it. And when we get in a bind late clock, he can get a shot up in the rim, and a lot of times it goes in. And so, he's been great all year.
This is the 6th straight playoff wins on the road for you guys now. Just mentioned this game plan.
I'm not focused on that. We got to, last time we played at home, I guess we won the last time we played at home, but the game before that we lost. And so there are a lot of traps here. You cannot assume going home is going to be easier. It never is. Each game as you ascend in a playoff series becomes harder. And New York is, they've got an amazing fighting spirit, and so, we're gonna have to keep concentrating on our process, making it hard on them, trying to keep tempo in the game, and the rebounding, in the rebounding, it was better tonight. We lost the overall rebounding battle, but we didn't get hurt nearly as bad on the offensive boards, and that's something we got to continue to focus on. Sorry, what? We're just trying to play our game, and you get in an environment like this where there's so much noise and so much going on and so many distractions. If you allow yourself to be distracted, we always talk about let the noise and all this other stuff be something to help trigger a narrowed focus on your teammates, on your job within the team, and so we had some success doing it in the first couple games. Going home is going to be a different kind of challenge. Well, I thought the third quarter was a very good quarter for us. It was 32-29, and we're at Madison Square Garden, which is one of the ultimate road environments with a tie game going into the fourth quarter, and really that's all you can ask for. And then now we've just got to try to execute, and as well as we can. And so, look, our bench did a really good job. I thought McConnell was terrific. Toppin had an underrated night. Tony Bradley hasn't played in the series, but he's one of our better rebounders. And so, we elected to go with him to spell Miles a little bit. But we're a team that needs everybody, so that's how we got to play. But the second half, we kept good energy in the game. Our bench, McConnell, Toppin, Sheppard did a really good job tonight. All our guys did a good job.
Greg?
It was about TJ. He did a job. He did what he did in the third quarter, kind of break the defense down, and that's kind of what TJ does, and just get better.
Well, at this time of year, you have to play with a certain attitude. You have to play with a defiance. And it's kind of defined TJ's 10-year career in the NBA. And so he's done a great job throughout the playoffs of playing his game and not allowing some difficult situations deter him from keeping his focus on what he needs to do to help the team. So tonight I thought he was a real key to the game, and we're gonna need the same effort from everybody when we go home.
Justin?
Asked about him in pregame. Ben Sheppard obviously hits 2 big threes. That also gives you a lot of minutes there on Jalen Brunson. Just how important, again, was he tonight to give you what he continues to do?
He's always ready. And when you play against teams that at the point of attack are very strong, you need runners and movers and people that can scramble up the game a little bit offensively. And he just, a couple times he found, I think 3 times he found really good shots. And I think he made 2 out of 3. And those were big plays. The one in the fourth quarter, I think it was, or maybe late third, up on top. That was a big momentum play at that moment.
I also thought I'm asking about him, and he's sitting right next to you. It's weird, but still, what impressed you about what Pascal was able to do today? And obviously, he's been going up against literally the best defenders in the league throughout the course of these playoffs. What has it taken to find him some opportunities where you feel like you guys did well at that time?
Yeah, I mean that's why we brought him here. That's what he's here to do. Is, he get a bucket in so many different ways. He started the game hot. We just kept feeding him, and I thought he did a great job of making big shot after big shot after big shot. Killing momentum. I think when you're in an environment like this, the crowd's getting into it. A lot of those shots can be, backbreakers at times. I thought he just kept making big play after big play, and he was amazing for us. So, big reason, why we won today. That's why we brought him in.
Pascal, something different about the coverages today for you? What kind of do you feel like led you to having so many more opportunities than you liked?
No, whatever was out there, I just took it. And I think what makes us special as far as a team is just we have different weapons, and we're not consumed with who's going to do what. We just go into the game and whatever the game, however the game presents itself, that's how we go and take it and do it that way. And it doesn't matter who scores. And for me, again, I just trying to play my game and shout out to my teammates just finding me and making sure that I stayed aggressive the whole game and again, it's going to take all of us to get where we want to get to.
Pascal, just matching up against OG, former teammate, how much are you enjoying being on the court and sharing one against him?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we're both in a position where, we get to compete at this level, coming from Toronto. So it's amazing, and, I think it just gives you kind of like extra motivation to just continue to compete at the highest level. And I know how hard of a competitor he is, so it's a good feeling.
Pascal, you ever talk to these guys about that championship experience you have? And is this the time of year that you start doing it, or you hold that back for more games?
I mean, I think for me, I kind of just been preaching the same thing. We just got to be, we can't ride the waves. Can't get too high with the highs, can't get too low with the lows, and I just appreciate the opportunity that I have here to have a bunch of guys that they want to hear my voice. They want me to to say something, and they know I'm kind of a shy, not shy, but I'm kind of talking to myself, and it's been amazing to be in this in this city, this team, this organization, just the confidence that they have in me, to continue to just lead, and I just try to do my best, there and there, throw some words in there, but they know I care about winning, and that's the reason I'm here.
You see any similarities between the shot he hit in game 1 and the one Kawhi hit? Not you guys had?
I mean, I think, well, the bounce, there's a lot of, there's different bounces. Like, it's one bounce, a long bounce, but I was still watching both of them. I mean, I was, the Kawhi shot, I was watching it. His shot, I was watching it. I almost jumped for his. But now it's just two incredible plays. Special players make special plays, and I'm just blessed that I'm a part of it.
Pascal, you know what it takes to go all the way and win the championship. When you look at this Pacers team that is now only 6 wins away from winning it, do you see any similarities between this team and the Raptors that went all the way?
I think for us, we focus on ourselves, man. We have a long way to go, and it's only going to get tougher for us, and I think we just got to continue to stick to the plan. We worried about one game, like we're not really thinking ahead. Like this, we focus on game 3 at home. Can't wait to get back to our fans. Like they're itching to to have us out there, and I know it's going to be crazy. We can't wait to play in front of them. Yeah, like that's our focus, to be honest. Game 3.
Ty, what does the second All-NBA mean to you, especially after the start of the season?
Yeah, it's special. It's special. Obviously, early in the year, I was trash. We didn't have a great start of the season, and my teammates did a great job of picking me up and keeping me engaged. And I think that that All-Star break for me, being able to get away from the game for a little bit, relax, kick my feet up, get my mind right, really propelled me to have a better second half of the season. And, I'm just really blessed, man. It's always great to get that honor, and it means a lot for me. From where I come from, and especially the way I started the season. But I don't think individual awards come unless there's group success. And we've had so many different guys step up in so many different ways and do very special things. So it's not possible without this guy next to me, my coach staff, all my teammates, front office, all the fans. It's not possible without them. So anytime I get this recognition like that, it means a lot. But we're striving for a lot more. So yeah, it's special.
Ty, you've been a part of Indianapolis now for a few days now. Race day and game 3 on the same day. How special are you expecting Sunday to be?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been to the 500. You been to the 500? No, I've been to the 500. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I can't imagine all those people then coming over to Gainbridge. It's going to be a rowdy crowd, maybe a little intoxicated. Who knows what it'll look like out there? It's going to be a special time. But it's going to be a lot of fun. There's been a lot of people in our organization. The Pacers have a special thing about our organization. It feels like everybody in our organization has worked there for like 30 years, and so I think that everybody's talked about it and how special it is. So for me to now get the chance to experience it, it's going to be a lot of fun. Planning to come into the facility maybe a little earlier, maybe the drive will be a little longer. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think the energy in Indy is so special right now, not only from what we're doing, but the Fever, people are loving what they're doing as well. So the energy in Indy, and then obviously the 500 as well. So the energy's been amazing, and we're just blessed that we're able to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to it.
We can do one more, guys. Dustin.
Yeah, just 2 guys I want to ask about real quick. Obviously, Miles hits 13 to 16 in the 4th, comes down with that huge rebound. How critical was the moments that you got from him after he'd gone through foul trouble, and also Ben Sheppard had another big night tonight in terms of what he was able to do, 2 big threes, and the defense he had on the mock process. How important were each of those guys in this one?
Yeah, I think what's really special about our group right now is we just have so many different people contributing and so many people doing special things. Miles had an amazing 4th quarter there. He's big time. Ben Sheppard has really stepped up these last 2 games. I think coming into these games and how the game is flowing, sometimes it looks like, okay, maybe he's not. You don't even know if he's going to play. When he gets thrown out there and has to guard Jalen Brunson, like that's a tough task. He made a huge shot today. I thought he was really big. And then shout out to Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley's huge. He came in.
Tone.
Yeah, came in for us. really got really thrown in with our group that's been together for so long. Tony is just such an awesome guy, and he contributes in so many different ways. And when we're doing our scout through all these series, he's had to be kind of that scout center. And there's been times where he kind of gets thrown in with our first group to take some of Miles' reps. When guys are going through things, they're a little banged up or whatever the case may be. So it's just so special to see what our group is doing. I think that's what comes with being part of a special group. Many different people can contribute at any time, and we know many people have had to step up in different ways at different times, and that's been the special part about this season is we lost both of our backup bigs, but then 5 games to Achilles, and then Aaron and Andrew are out for an extended period of time early in the year. Quentin Jackson, a two-way guy for us, is then starting. It's been special to see. It really fun, and that's what makes this group so special. How close we are, how many people have to step up, and we understand. Even in our scout, how important our two-way guys are. They don't get to suit up, but how important they are for us preparing and giving us different looks, and that goes up and down our organization. So, it's a special group right now. We're just having a lot of fun.
Drew, what was the key in the fourth quarter to building and keeping that lead?
I think the key for that quarter and the whole game was just getting those defensive rebounds, making those tough shots, making them shoot those mid-range shots, and getting rebounds, try to run, keep the ball moving on the offensive side of the ball.
You guys have won 6 road games in a row now in the playoffs. What is it about this team that allows you to stay so unflappable in hostile environments?
I think the experience. I think us being here last year, playing in MSG doesn't feel as big as it did last year. So I think we're a little more comfortable in the moment, and experience is the biggest teacher for sure.
What was it like seeing Pascal do what he did, 39 points tonight?
It was big. I mean, he's been there before, so he's a calming presence for us and a leader for us. So we all kind of rallied behind that, and he kind of calmed us all down. So big performance from him for sure.
Going back to Pascal, and Aaron said you guys did a lot to try to make his life a little bit easier today. What were some of the key things you guys did to create some more opportunities for him?
Not telling you that.
What's that?
Not telling you that.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask it a different way. What's it been like to watch?
Still not telling you
It's
that.
a different way. I promise it's a
Ask it a different way. What you mean?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Totally different. What's it been like to see him work through the defensive assignments of people that have been on him, whether it's Giannis or OG or Mobley in the last series? What's it been like to see him work against those?
Him playing defense or them playing defense against
Playing
him?
defense on that.
I mean, he's an all-star player. I don't think it really matters too much. I think he's very versatile in the way he can attack the game. He can shoot 3. He can kind of play off the dribble and go by. You can post up. He can get it from the mid-post. So I think based on the defender, he can change up his attack. And our movement also helps him get it in good spots. Sure.
Second straight game against the Knicks, you guys started really well in the first quarter. I mean, what's working when they're showing their looks at you, different coverages that you guys are going really good at times?
Say it again?
Second straight game, you guys started well in the first quarter against the Knicks. Just what's working against that defense for you guys to start after that?
I think the whole process starts with us playing defense, getting rebounds, playing transition, moving the ball, random actions, stuff like that. It's been working for us.
How are you all going to have like a greedy mentality to not just be satisfied with game 1 and try to snatch game 2? How did you get that mentality?
I mean, I think the playoffs is every game means so much. You don't want to feel comfortable or nothing like that. So you got to look at it game to game and bring the same energy, same competitive drive, and see where it lands us at the end of the game.
You guys have won 6 straight games on the road in the playoffs. Why do you think you've had so much success playing on the road this postseason?
Just a mentally tough group. We're resilient. I think we're just so close off the court. I think when we play in these hostile environments, we are just really good at leaning on each other and just depending on one another. So we kind of rally off that.
Pascal put up 39 as his playoff career high. Just kind of what was maybe most impressive watching him out there tonight?
I mean, for 48 minutes, it seemed like he just took control of the game. He played at a great pace, his pace. He was making the right reads, and he helped lead us to victory tonight.
What just particularly impressed about him in terms of he's been guarded by Giannis, Mobley, OG in this series. What's it been like just kind of watch him figure out how to get his shots and get to his?
Yeah, we've got to make his life a little easier, and I thought tonight we made a point of making his life a little easier. And, you know, he capitalized on every opportunity that was given to him. Like I said, he makes the right reads, makes the right plays. And, you know, he's one of the reasons why we're here. You know, he keeps us going. He's able to score one-on-one when we need buckets. You know, I don't have enough nice things to say about P.
I don't know if this gives too much away, but how did you make his life easier? What were some things that you guys did?
Spacing the floor, moving, not staying stagnant when he gets the ball. You know, can't give away everything, but, you know, yeah, he's a special player. He makes good plays. He makes his life easier.
Tie game going into that fourth quarter. What do you think allowed you guys to get that separation in the fourth?
Just keep punching away, keep making simple plays, keep executing, and take it one play at a time, one possession at a time.
How important has Shep been for you guys?
Huge. Sheppard's huge, man. Anytime his name is called, he seems to always be ready. Knocking down threes, guarding guys 94 feet, bringing energy, crashing the boards. He's just, you know, like we said, we're so deep, and every time he gets the opportunity to play, he brings it. So, you know, he made big-time shots today and helped us get this lead and sustain it.
How much does he help you and Drew in particular? You guys obviously have to all deal with Brunson. How much does it make each of your lives?
Exactly. I mean, when he comes in and he allows us to take a break on, you know, the lead guy and allows us to get rest, whether that's guarding a different dude or sitting on the bench for a couple minutes, it's huge. We're allowed to get our legs and be fresh, and when the fourth quarter comes, it allows us to come back in and be able to make shots and make plays.
What's the feeling going back to Indiana 2-0?
One game at a time, you know. One game at a time. We got to go out and win. You know, they're going to come out punching, fighting, and you know, it's just good to get to play in front of our home fans again.
I know we talked about some of the stuff going into this game, but obviously you had to pick up Brunson for a lot of that period. Just what are you trying to do in that matchup when you get thrown in those situations? What do you feel like you did well in there?
Yeah, just slow him down. He's a great player. He's going to make shots, so not getting too low on myself or putting my head down, and just moving on to the next play, and I'm just trying to slow him down.
But hit two big shots, obviously that one in the fourth. Just how did each of those kind of come together? You get a clean look there, and how important do you think it was to make those at the time you did them?
Yeah, just finding my spots and being confident in my shot. And they found me, and I happened to hit those shots. But yeah, just playing through the flows of the game.
You obviously just do what you do, you know, in terms of just running and creating energy. But how much have you seen a value in that in this series when you can run a lot of bodies at Brunson and a lot of those guys? How much of an effect do you kind of think it's having, the amount of depth that you can throw at those guys and force them to run as much as you have?
It's so important, our speed and the way we play, just wearing teams down. And we need to continue to do that in the future games and just take it one game at a time. So.
You guys have won 6 straight on the road in the playoffs. How are you guys able to do that? Because you know these atmospheres are tough.
We're a unit. We work together, and we all believe in each other. We never get too high, never get too low, and I think that's a special thing about this group. And yeah, like I said, we just take every game as it comes, and yeah.
What impressed or stood out to you about Siakam's performance tonight?
He's a super great player. I don't know, it's impressive watching him and just watching him lead us. But yeah, it was fun to watch. It was a great performance by him tonight.
He's obviously been in a situation where he's been guarded by, it was Giannis in the first round, it's Mobley last time, it's OG, and this one was probably 3 of the best 10 or 15 defenders in the league. Just what's it been like just kind of watch him work to get his shots, considering who he's being defended by?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching him and just watching him get to his spots, and now seeing him do it in live action is just great. And he works super hard for all of his shots, and we need that from him, and he did a great job of that today. So.
What's your level of excitement to bring this series home to Indy this weekend?
We're excited. There's a lot of stuff going on in Indiana this weekend, so just trying to give our fans a good show. So.
Going off that, what's the atmosphere going to be like? What are you expecting this weekend in Indy, knowing that the 500 and you guys are playing the same day?
I think it'll be a good environment. What time do we play? Sunday?
8 o'clock.
So after the race. Yeah, it'll be a good environment.
How do you feel about the overall flow of the offense tonight?
There was good parts and bad parts. I feel like we a lot of stuff to work on, but
Can you go somewhere else?
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs to the game, but I think we need to look at the film and see what we can do better.
This is as far as you've been in the playoffs ever, in the Garden. I mean, to play in this game and have an impact, what did that all mean to you?
Just was ready when my name was called. I work hard every day, staying in shape, just being a good teammate. Whenever, just ready, just go hard. That's all I know.
When you got here, you said that Rick told you rebounding was going to be the thing that he needed for you and got you on the floor. To have that be the thing he asked you to do tonight, I mean, what was your focus going in there? How did you attack that kind of need for the team?
Just go hard. That's all I got. That's probably the next answer when you ask me. Just go hard.
What's I mean, obviously the front court they were playing when they were bringing out Mitch and Carlisle Towns at the same time, and just what was like just to deal with each of those guys, try to figure out what you have to do to kind of keep Robinson off the glass, and just what would you like to handle that matchup?
I was just focused on keeping Robinson off the glass, staying in contact with them, keeping the body on them, and trying to get them tired and then run them.
Tony, what is it about this team's collective poise that has allowed you guys to be so successful on the road in these environments?
Ever since I got here, I just felt the vibe of the team not quitting, and that goes down from the first man to 15th man, just staying ready and not giving up. Hard work, effort, trusting each other on the team.
Keeping on that theme, I guess, what makes this group good at keeping guys in your situation ready, basically? That if you might go several games without playing, what do you organizationally, how do they keep you guys ready to make sure that when it comes down to it, even if you hadn't been on the floor in a week, 2 weeks,
I feel like
for these situations?
I feel like we give each other confidence just by talking to each other, showing love to each other, and also just in the off days, the coach staff does a good job of keeping us prepared in the game plan and staying in shape and all that stuff, getting extra shots.